After yesterday's storms that we spoke about, you saw the damage that it did to my broad beans, and incidentally I've actually had to go out there and tie each one individually up on a garden stake so I can pull it in, but they've bounced right back. A few of them did have their heads snapped off, but that's okay, they'll survive, they'll live to see to make some fruit for us. I thought I'd come out and have a look at the rest of the garden because I haven't wandered out to see what other damage has been caused, if any. These are our standard roses. If you remember in winter we showed you how to prune them back. And this is what your roses should be looking like if not already blooming. Because we're a lot colder than most of you, except for Tassie. Well, I'd like to think Tassie's colder than us, but sometimes -4. Your roses should be bouncing up like this at the moment. These are all just about to start pushing bud on. You can see some spots here, there, all the buds coming up. They're starting to swell, so we should get a bloom in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Oh, hello. The wildlife out here, folks, the bird life is amazing. You can sit here and just hours on end looking at all the different types of birds, and it's a delight to see how they live in and out. And we've got a lot of resident birds here too as well, which we enjoy because we meet them every morning and obviously at the evening just before they go to bed. But back to my roses, they should be looking something like this, if not bigger. Now that's what you get when you prune them well and you open up the centers of them. Now these have got a what do you call that, a light bulb in the middle, a feature there, which is okay, I don't mind, but when they come into full bloom, you can't see it at night. But if you come through it, you'll be able to see the centers densing out. Now you may need to cut them out again. Once they get sort of thick like this, you may need to thin them out because you'll get a few suckers coming up really high. A secret to getting them to blooming is getting a lot of potash into the soil. Now that's wood ash if you like, a little bit of black grit as well, so the flowers are big and strong and healthy, but also pay close attention if you're in a warmer region for aphids, because right at this stage is when they'll get attacked. Where they're nice and soft and succulent, have a look at the tips because you'll notice aphids on them if the weather's permitting for them to come out. For us, we're lucky because it's too cold for them still, so we haven't got any aphids, but the roses are coming on really nice. That's looking good. This one's going to put a good show on. Big open center in the middle. Oh, look at that. That's really nice in the center. It's got a nice open vase, got plenty of light coming in there, and they should be flowering beautifully as the weather warms up, about another week or two. But look at the bottom, we've got suckers coming up, not only on trees, even this mop top, suckers up there, or down there, suckers here on the rose. I don't know what's going on. We talk about grafting plants and buying grafted fruit trees and flowering plants and ornamental trees and all that stuff. If they could keep suckering up like this, I don't know, why do we do it? Just stick the plant in the ground with no grafting on them and let the plant grow on its own. It's got its own roots. It should adapt to our soils. We've adapted to this climate, don't we? 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold. Constantly grafting, I get it. We've got to make a living out of it, and I suppose the grower's got to be able to produce them and have a more tolerant root system that's going to, grow in a wide range of soils. But when they sucker out like that, somebody give me a solution. I'm constantly cutting them out, digging them out, gnarling them out. If you can give me a better way to control that, I'd love to share it with everybody else out there. These mop tops, and it's not just there. You think I'm joking? Have a look over here. Have a look at this sucker. Can you see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suckers coming up. Forget the weeds, I haven't been in there. This is what I'm doing here. I've pulled all the heads off of my agapanthus. All the seeds have fallen down everywhere. They'll sprout up everywhere. If they do sprout up, I'll just pull them up and use them somewhere. But mass planted here beautifully. Perfect space for them. We're not worried about that. Forget about the capeweed. Those suckers are the problem because I can pull those weeds out. Worried about the snow. The snow's gone. The suckers are still here. Have a look at these things. And the pricks, the spines. Have a look at this. These are ridiculous. These are a lethal weapon. Seriously. They're not on the main tree. This is coming from the root zone. This is the roots taken off. I can't even grab this to pull it out. That's how dangerous it is, full of spines. I've got to cut this to the ground, then bring in a shovel and pick and dig it up. Anyway, and the snow or the cold weather hasn't affected this beautiful cherry blossom, has it? Now this one here, we showed you a while back, and you can look that up on our social pages, our Facebook, YouTube channel, Pruning Back a Cherry Tree or a Flowering Cherry. We had dead wood all over it. See all the cuts here? There was a few more all over it. I can't even tell where it was. Over here, there we are. There were some cuts, all this was all dying back. So the tree was on its way out. We had a bit of dieback, or a lot of it. So I cut that all out, and it's put some life back into the tree. You can see all the flowers, beautiful flowers, even after the snow. Yesterday's snow, the flowers are still really strong and that and vibrant. And we've got new growth, and now we're going to try and grow it out this way here. Bring it out this way. So all this here, as it starts to thicken up, we'll try and train it to fill up this space. But you can see that the winds are always coming from the northwest, and this is why there's a lean on the tree. So there's not much we can do about that, even though if we try to bring the branches out, but that's a good sign. So dead, diseased, damaged wood on your plants, whether it's a tree, a rose, flowering plant, or even an edible plant, any dieback, cut it off, get rid of it. It makes no sense. There's no better time than the present when you see that, to remove that damaged wood, because the longer you leave it, the longer it's going to take for it to recover, and the more likelihood of that dead wood will be growing back and furthering down or progressing down the branch or the trunk and killing off the rest of the tree. So the longer you leave it, the harder it is to fix. So clean up your plants, especially now you'll be able to notice them with the new growth. Forget about the cold weather today. It's going to warm up, and it is springtime all over Australia. So you'll be able to see new growth, whether it's fast or slow. There is growth coming through. Then you can see where the dead wood is if you haven't picked it already. Cut it off, clean it up, paint it over if it's a large cut, and give it a good feed, because springtime is when they need to be fed. Black Grit, EcoBoost, Liquid Gold, all my favourites, or pick your own favourites at the end of the day. Give it something, but give it something that's natural and organic. None of this synthetic fertilisers. There's enough damage already going on in the world. And don't forget, it's 2 p.m. today. That's Vasily's Garden to Kitchen with Mama in the garden. You're going to love it. Mama's appearing on our show, doing a lot of gardening with me and a lot of cooking. A lot of fun on 7/2 at 2 p.m. And the buy one, get one free ends midnight tonight. Lots of great deals for you to check out on our website, the official website, vasilysgarden.com. From me, Vasily Maresi, and I hope to get my little hat back on and my shirt back on, because that means the weather's going to be better. You hope?